The sun expands like a furious monster, its surface boiling and its flames stretching far beyond the orbit of Mercury. It swallows Venus in a wave of fire, and now, looming larger and larger, it sets its sight on Earth. Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing not a warm yellow circle, but a giant wall of red plasma so close it fills your horizon. The oceans begin to boil, mountains melt, and the air itself bursts into fire. This is not a scene from Hollywood science fiction. This is the future written in the stars. 5 billion years from now, our sun will become a red giant. And when that day comes, Earth as we know it will be burned, cracked, and swallowed whole. But here's the real question. If humanity knows that the end of our planet is inevitable, what will we do? Will we surrender quietly, or will we defy the universe itself? Before we answer, let's rewind. Right now, at this very second, you are alive on a small blue planet circling a stable star. You breathe, you love, you dream, you scroll on your phone, and you watch videos like this. But hidden inside that ordinary moment is a countdown clock ticking relentlessly toward the end. The story of our species is not only about the past, where we came from, but about the unimaginable future, the next chapters that stretch across centuries, millennia, and billions of years. And that journey is not just about survival, it is about transformation. Because to live beyond the death of Earth, humanity must change into something new, something more, something almost unrecognizable. If this thought experiment grips you, give this video a like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this story. Because what you're about to see will push the limits of imagination. So, let's begin. From the heat of the present day to the firestorm of the distant future, this is the story of humanity's epic struggle against time, against space, against the universe itself. Let's zoom back to today. Right now, the Earth feels permanent, stable, eternal. You wake up, grab your morning coffee, sit in traffic, or maybe cheer at a baseball game under bright stadium lights. The world looks solid, unshakable, the same as it was for your parents and their parents before them. But that stability is an illusion. Because even as you sit here, the universe is already moving the pieces of the future into place. Climate change, artificial intelligence, new medicine, and renewable energy are rewriting the rules of life on Earth. Within just the next 100 years, technology will transform our planet in ways that make today's world look like a museum exhibit. Think about it. Within 10 years, probes will be sent to frozen moons like Europa and Enceladus, searching for signs of life beneath the ice. Astronauts will return to the moon's south pole, setting foot on its dusty surface for the first time in decades. And within 50 years, you could be watching a baseball game not in New York or Los Angeles, but on a lunar colony with Earth rising over the horizon like a glowing blue marble. By the time your grandchildren's grandchildren are born, thousands of settlers may live permanently on Mars. Cities under domes, fields warmed by artificial suns, and children growing up who have never seen Earth except as a dot in the night sky. Back on Earth, we'll be fighting to cool the planet, reducing global temperatures with geoengineering and massive renewable projects. Meanwhile, Mars will be warming, transformed by giant greenhouse mirrors and redirected comets that deliver oceans in ice. This is terraforming, turning a dead world into a living one. Humanity's greatest engineering project, bigger than the pyramids, bigger than the Hoover Dam, bigger than anything we've ever attempted. And it's only the beginning. Because here's the truth, Earth is not forever. No matter how much we recycle, innovate, or fight climate change, our sun is on a one-way path to destruction. The clock is ticking, and if we want our story to continue, we have to look up, out, and beyond. This is where the journey really begins. Not just surviving on Earth, but learning to thrive on Mars, Venus, the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, even in floating cities among the stars. It sounds impossible. It sounds insane. But so did airplanes. So did rockets. So did walking on the moon. So here's the challenge. If humanity wants to survive the death of our planet, we must stop thinking about backyards and borders. We must think in centuries, in galaxies, in cosmic scales. And that's where the next chapter takes us. A future where humanity becomes a force powerful enough to tap into every bit of energy our planet can give. a future where we level up on the Kardashev scale. But what does that mean for you, for your children, for the entire species? That's the story of the next part. Close your eyes and imagine waking up on Mars. The sky above is not blue but tinted red, the horizon a stretch of rocky desert broken by futuristic domes glistening in the sun. Inside those domes are gardens, lakes, entire neighbourhoods where children laugh and play, never knowing what it means to breathe Earth's air. Humanity has finally done it. We live on another world. Within just a couple hundred years, this will be reality. The settlers of Mars will not be pioneers fighting for scraps of oxygen. They will be citizens of a thriving planet. Terraforming projects, powered by AI, robotics and massive orbital mirrors, will trap enough heat to melt buried ice, releasing water to fill new oceans. Greenhouses stretch for miles, filled with crops designed to thrive in Martian soil. Back on Earth, medicine has extended human lifespans dramatically. A person living in the 26th century can expect to celebrate their 150th birthday as easily as you expect to hit 70 today. Diseases like cancer, heart failure and dementia have been reduced to medical history. Nanobots roam your bloodstream, repairing cells before illness ever begins. Aging itself is no longer a curse but a condition that can be managed. Picture yourself in that future. You could spend your 20s studying on Earth, your 30s exploring lunar cities, and your 40s building homes on Mars. By your 100th birthday, you might retire to a villa with a view of Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the solar system, higher than any mountain on Earth. And yet, despite the wonders, danger lurks. Because while humanity learns to control Mars, the universe continues to remind us how fragile we are. Pluto crosses Neptune's orbit, cosmic ice bodies collide, comets sweep near Earth's orbit. These reminders echo one truth: we are living on borrowed time. Terraforming Mars buys us centuries, maybe millennia, but it does not buy eternity. By the year 2500, the transformation is complete. Mars has oceans, weather, forests. Cities rise with skylines that rival New York and Shanghai, but with a Martian twist. Towers built from regolith, glowing domes connected by transparent tunnels. Families gather for picnics under artificial skies. Students learn about the old planet called Earth as if it were just one chapter in a very long book. And you? You could still be alive thanks to advances in genetics and medicine. You could be one of the first humans to witness two planets being called home. Imagine celebrating your 120th birthday by taking a shuttle between Earth and Mars as casually as flying from Los Angeles to New York today. But here's the twist. For all its beauty, Mars will never be truly safe. Its atmosphere is thin, its magnetosphere weak. Without constant engineering, it could slip back into being a frozen desert. Humanity will have to work endlessly just to keep it alive. Terraforming is not a finish line. It is an eternal struggle. And this leads to the next great step.
And yet,
if we want more than survival, if we want to thrive as a species that lasts beyond Earth and Mars, we must think bigger. We must unlock the full power of our planet and then the full power of our sun. That leap will change everything, so buckle in. Because the next part of our journey is the moment humanity levels up on the cosmic scoreboard. We become a Type 1 civilization on the Kardashev Scale. The year is 2500. Humanity has reached a milestone that once existed only in the dreams of physicists and science fiction writers. We are now a Type 1 civilization on the Kardashev Scale. What does that mean? It means we have learned how to harness every form of energy our planet can offer. The sun beats down, and we capture it with orbital satellites and planet-wide solar arrays. The tides rise and fall, and we turn that motion into power. The wind howls across deserts and oceans, and our turbines drink it in like endless fuel. Volcanoes, chemical reactions, biological systems, every single resource Earth possesses is channeled into human progress. For the first time in history, our species is no longer limited by energy. Every home, every vehicle, every machine runs on clean, abundant power. Cities glow like constellations on Earth's surface. Each one powered not by fossil fuels but by the living heartbeat of the planet itself. But Earth is only part of the picture. On Mars, terraformed cities hum with imported energy from solar collectors floating in orbit. On Venus, vast cloud cities float like shining islands in the sky, suspended by helium zeppelins and advanced engineering. Imagine looking out from your apartment balcony and seeing an ocean of golden clouds rolling beneath you, while above, massive mirrors redirect sunlight to keep the air stable. Venus, once a hell planet hotter than any oven, has begun its transformation into a home. And here's the astonishing truth. When humanity becomes Type 1, borders begin to fade. No longer is energy hoarded or fought over. Wars over oil, gas or coal belong to the past. Resources are no longer the chains that bind nations in conflict. Instead, energy abundance reshapes society itself. Poverty dwindles, education flourishes, healthcare reaches every corner of the globe. But this power also raises the stakes. With infinite energy comes infinite possibility, for creation or for destruction. A single miscalculation could weaponize the very systems that keep us alive. Earthquakes could be triggered, storms could be engineered, energy itself becomes the most powerful tool in history, and with it, the most dangerous. Picture a baseball stadium in New York glowing under lights powered entirely by the tides of the Atlantic Ocean, or a Hollywood film studio running its cameras with beams of solar energy captured from orbit and transmitted wirelessly. Everyday life feels normal, but under the surface, humanity has crossed a threshold into something new, something evolutionary. This is the age when humanity stops being fragile. We are no longer at the mercy of storms, droughts, or energy scarcity. We command our planet's heartbeat. Yet even here, in this golden moment, a whisper of danger grows louder. Because while we have mastered Earth, we are still small compared to the Sun. To secure our future, we must look beyond Earth's energy. We must capture the power of the star that gave us life. And that means building something so colossal, so audacious, that it makes pyramids and skyscrapers look like toys. The Dyson Sphere. A structure that surrounds the Sun, harvesting nearly all of its energy. It sounds like madness. It sounds impossible. But it is the next step. Because once you master your planet, the only way forward is to master your star, and that is where our journey goes next. Look up at the sky. Imagine not seeing the sun's blazing circle, but instead a vast lattice of shining panels stretching across the heavens, capturing nearly every photon of light. This is not a sci-fi movie set. This is humanity's future, the birth of a Dyson Sphere. A Dyson Sphere is the boldest engineering project ever conceived. The idea: surround the Sun with an orbiting swarm of giant satellites, each one drinking in solar energy and beaming it back to Earth, Mars, and the colonies beyond. With this single structure, humanity becomes a Type 2 civilization, able to harvest the full power of our star. Think of what that means. The Sun emits more energy in 1 second than all of humanity has ever consumed in its entire history. Now imagine capturing it. Wars over energy vanish forever. Every city, every ship, every colony has access to unlimited power. We can melt ice caps on Mars, build oceans on Venus, drive starships to the outer solar system. But the Dyson Sphere is more than a power plant. It is a shield, a barrier between humanity and the chaos of space. Solar flares, once deadly, are now tamed. Radiation that could fry satellites is absorbed and repurposed. The Sun itself becomes our servant, not our master. And yet, even as we celebrate, danger looms. With the power of a star in our hands, one mistake could burn entire worlds. The same beams of energy that fuel our cities could vaporize continents. Technology that saves us could also erase us. This is the shadow side of abundance. When power becomes so vast, control becomes fragile. Scientists call this the Great Filter. The idea that every civilization eventually builds tools so powerful they risk self-destruction. Maybe that's why we haven't seen aliens. Maybe they reached this level and failed. Maybe they built their Dyson Sphere and then collapsed under the weight of their own technology. So here we stand. Humanity with unlimited energy, colonies across planets, lifespans stretching to centuries. We have never been stronger, and never been closer to our own extinction. The question is, can we survive this filter? Can we outsmart the trap that may have killed every other advanced species in the galaxy? Imagine the view from a colony on Ganymede, a moon of Jupiter. You look up, and the night sky is no longer scattered stars. It is a glowing sphere of human engineering shimmering like a second Milky Way. You feel proud, but also terrified. Because if this fails, it all fails, and here is the twist. Survival may not depend on strength at all. It may depend on memory. On our ability to preserve what makes us human even if the species itself is wiped away. That is where the next step begins, the invention of something extraordinary, the human backup drive. Imagine this. One day all of humanity is gone. Cities are dust, oceans are steam, and the Earth itself is a charred rock circling a dying sun. But somewhere, light years away, a tiny probe lands on an alien shore. Inside that probe is a vault no bigger than your hand. It carries DNA, memories, art and history. It carries us. This is the human backup drive, our civilization's ultimate insurance policy against extinction. Just as you back up photos on your phone to the cloud, humanity will back up itself, our genomes, our cultures, our entire story, onto storage systems designed to last longer than any planet. The technology begins simple. Crystals etched with nanoscale patterns hold trillions of gigabytes. Artificial DNA strands encode libraries of knowledge that can survive deep space. But the idea goes further. We don't just copy books and genomes, we copy minds. Neural maps of individuals, complete blueprints of thought and memory, are encoded into the drive. Picture it. Humanity scatters thousands of these probes across the galaxy, each one carrying the essence of who we are. Some land on asteroids, others on frozen moons, others drift endlessly between stars. If Earth falls to a supernova, a volcanic winter, or our own mistakes, these drives remain. They wait, silent, until someone, or something, finds them. But here is the haunting question. Who will open them? Will it be alien civilizations millions of years from now, reading the story of a species long gone? Or will it be our own descendants, evolved beyond recognition, using these archives to resurrect their ancestors? This concept may sound like fantasy, but seeds of it already exist. On the moon today lies a disk, etched with human knowledge, a library that could outlast Earth itself. Scientists talk about gene arcs to preserve biodiversity, and some even propose storing human DNA in orbit. The human backup drive is not a myth. It is the logical next step of survival, and imagine the implications. If one probe carrying human DNA collides with a young, fertile planet, it could seed new life, life that carries our blueprint. In this way, we are not only saving ourselves, we are becoming architects of new worlds. Even if humanity falls, echoes of us could spread forever, yet with every solution comes a shadow. What if the future version of humanity that rebuilds itself from these drives is nothing like us? Would they still be human, or something alien wearing our memories? Still, when faced with extinction, survival means making copies, redundancy, insurance. Because life is fragile, civilizations are fragile, but data can endure. And so, the human backup drive becomes more than technology. It becomes philosophy, a statement to the universe. We were here, we mattered, we refuse to be forgotten. But humanity is not done yet. Storing ourselves is only the beginning. The next step is to evolve into something far more powerful, a civilization that can harness not just a star, but an entire galaxy. That is where the story leads next. Now picture this. Humanity has already mastered its planet. We've caged the power of our sun with a Dyson Sphere. We've stored our memories and DNA across the stars with human backup drives. And yet, we are still only at the beginning. The next step is almost unthinkable. We become a Type 3 civilization. That means we no longer just use the energy of one star, we control the energy of an entire galaxy. Billions of stars, black holes, cosmic winds, all harvested, tamed, and bent to our will. Imagine travelling through the Milky Way, and instead of seeing lonely suns surrounded by empty darkness, you see Dyson spheres glowing like pearls strung across the galaxy. Humanity has turned the Milky Way itself into a machine, a cosmic power grid stretching 100,000 light years. Each star encased, each planet mapped, each moon claimed. At this point, humans, if we can still call ourselves that, are no longer bound by flesh. Nanotechnology, AI, and bioengineering have merged with our biology. Our descendants might be taller, with bigger eyes shaped by centuries of low-gravity living. Or perhaps they won't have bodies at all, existing instead as digital minds spread across networks of stars. But power does not erase danger, because the galaxy is not safe. Supernovas erupt with the fury of 1 trillion bombs. Black holes spin, swallowing light and time itself. Gamma-ray bursts sweep through space, carrying enough radiation to strip atmospheres from entire worlds. Even with control of a galaxy's energy, we are still vulnerable, and so, humanity builds defenses on a cosmic scale. Stellar shields that redirect deadly bursts, megastructures that stabilize unstable stars, entire fleets of AI-managed probes patrolling the void, sniffing out threats millions of years in advance. For the first time, we are not just passengers of the universe, we are its engineers. But here's the terrifying irony. The stronger we become, the closer we dance to destruction. With power on a galactic scale, even the smallest conflict could wipe out trillions of lives. The Great Filter is never behind us. It follows us, waiting at every stage of progress. And then, the unthinkable. 2 galaxies collide. The Milky Way and Andromeda smash together in a cosmic ballet of 1 trillion stars. Black holes merge. Solar systems are flung into the void. Humanity must adapt not just to planets or stars, but to the violent reshaping of the cosmos itself. This is the paradox of becoming Type 3. We hold infinite energy, infinite power, infinite potential. And yet we are still fragile. Still one accident, one war, one cosmic disaster away from vanishing forever. So what's next? How can a species already ruling a galaxy possibly evolve further? The answer lies not in space, but in something even stranger. Not in controlling matter, but in controlling time. That is the next leap. Time engineering. The sky cracks open with fire. Yellowstone erupts, vomiting ash and molten rock into the atmosphere. The sun disappears behind a veil of darkness, plunging Earth into a volcanic winter. Crops fail, oceans cool, civilizations tremble. But then, just as humanity adapts, a new terror arrives. An asteroid, larger than the one that ended the dinosaurs, barrels toward Earth. Sirens scream across the globe. Cities prepare. Lasers fire from orbital defense stations, pushing the rock off course. Victory? Maybe. Or maybe just a temporary escape, because the universe is relentless. In 100,000 years, glaciers rise. Earth freezes into an ice age. In 1 million years, oceans dry as the sun brightens, baking the land. In 500 million years, a nearby star explodes, bathing Earth in deadly radiation. Picture the horror of WR104, a massive star 8,000 light-years away. When it goes supernova, its gamma-ray burst could shred Earth's ozone layer in an instant, drowning the planet in acid rain and firestorms. Billions die, unless we've already left Earth far behind, and the disasters keep coming. Mars loses its moon Phobos, torn apart into a glowing ring of rubble. Saturn's legendary rings vanish as they collapse into the gas giant. Galaxies collide in slow, unstoppable violence. Supermassive black holes merge, ripping space itself apart. Humanity races to stay ahead. Dyson spheres are reinforced into Dyson swarms. Moons are hollowed out as ships. Artificial worlds orbit black holes, feeding on their energy. But the clock never stops ticking. Every solution creates new dangers. Every victory is fragile. And then, silence. The Great Filter whispers again. Have we come this far just to collapse like every other species before us? Or will we find the one path that lets us escape not just space, not just extinction, but time itself? Because here lies the ultimate frontier. To endure the universe's fury, we must learn to engineer time. To bend its flow, to hide within it, to outlast stars, galaxies, and even the death of reality itself. That is the next chapter. The dawn of time engineering. What if survival was no longer about where we live, but when we live? Humanity has conquered planets, harnessed stars, even captured the energy of a galaxy. Yet the universe still throws disasters at us. Supernovas, black holes, gamma-ray bursts. Sooner or later every star dies. Every galaxy collides. every safe place vanishes. Unless we step outside the river of time itself, time engineering. Not just travelling forward or backward like in movies, but sculpting the flow of time. Imagine creating bubbles where centuries pass inside while only seconds pass outside. Or the reverse, where you wait out a cosmic disaster in what feels like a single night, while millions of years vanish beyond your walls. The science isn't pure fantasy. Einstein's theory of relativity already proves that time moves differently depending on speed and gravity. Astronauts in orbit age just a little bit slower than people on Earth. Near a black hole, time itself stretches like taffy. Humanity learns to take those principles and control them. Picture a civilization building vast temporal sanctuaries, cosmic arcs floating near stable stars. Inside, families live, learn, and dream at a normal speed, while outside, eons pass in a blink. When the danger is gone, when the supernova has faded or the galaxies have settled, humans emerge, unchanged, while the universe has rewritten itself. And the possibilities go further. We might send explorers back through time streams to witness the birth of the solar system, or forward to glimpse the fate of distant galaxies. We could archive not just memories, but whole eras, snapshots of history preserved in eternal time capsules. Imagine walking through a museum where each gallery is an entire century frozen forever in a time bubble. But with power comes danger. If time can be engineered, then history itself can be edited. What happens if someone rewinds a catastrophe only to erase billions of lives? What happens if civilizations fight not over territory, but over who controls the timeline itself? The greatest war in history may not be for land or stars, but for the fabric of time. Still, the dream is irresistible. To survive not just space, but eternity. To become more than a species trapped in one cosmic moment. To slip into the folds of time like authors rewriting their own story. Humanity would no longer fear the end of Earth, the end of the Sun, or even the end of the Milky Way, because we would always have another moment to escape into. And yet, a whisper remains. If we can master time, then what if we already have? What if the aliens we've been searching for were not strangers at all, but future versions of us, reaching back across epochs to guide or to warn? That is the final twist. The answer waiting in the last chapter of our story. The story of humanity has carried us from a fragile planet to a galactic empire, from harnessing fire to bending time itself. But here is the ultimate twist. What if the end of our journey is the beginning of our own story? Think about it. For centuries, people have wondered why we have never met aliens, why the stars are silent, why in a galaxy filled with billions of suns, not one voice answers back. The truth may not be that aliens never existed, but that we were the aliens all along. Imagine a future where time engineering allows us to reach back, planting the seeds of life on a young Earth. Tiny microbes riding comets, DNA encoded in cosmic dust, the very spark of existence delivered by our own distant descendants. Humanity could be its own origin story, a loop without beginning or end. We are both the creators and the created. This is the cosmic Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. A civilization so advanced it becomes the myth it once tried to explain. Every religion, every legend, every question of where did we come from might trace back to us, billions of years in the future, reaching across time to ensure our survival. And that leaves us with the biggest question of all. If we are the architects of our own beginning, then what is the purpose of the middle? Is the point of humanity to conquer galaxies, or simply to make sure life keeps going, looping forever? Are we chasing progress, or chasing ourselves? Here's where you come in. This story isn't just about distant futures or cosmic theories, it's about choices made today. The way we treat our planet, the technologies we build, the risks we take. Because every step, from renewable energy to AI to medicine, shapes whether humanity survives long enough to see these futures at all. And maybe the most powerful truth is this: the universe doesn't decide our fate, we do. If we collapse under our own weight, the story ends here. But if we endure, if we imagine boldly enough, build bravely enough, and dream wildly enough, then we could write ourselves into eternity. So let me ask you, do you believe humanity should live forever? Or do you believe every story, even ours, must one day end? If this journey made you think, give this video a like and subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Because the future of humanity isn't written in the stars, it's written by us.